All right. I'm Leland with KGTX. We are going to interview a Lamarck native filmmaker, Mr. Justin Williams. He has a project coming out soon called Masquerade on April 7th on Amazon Prime Video. So go ahead and introduce yourself, Mr. Justin Williams.
Justin Williams, independent filmmaker right here from Lamarck, Texas.
Tell us about the movie Masquerade.
Um, this movie is about finding your true self. That's the core of the film, is to be exactly who you are, regardless of what people think about you. And it's just centered around authenticity for the most part. The movie covers a kid by the name of Bryson Wilson, who, on the outer appearance, he doesn't live up to his standard that he would like, but internally he checks off on all the boxes. But if nobody ever finds him attractive, then how does he ever get to that point to where he can release that, those inner things that make him who he is? And so he decides to create a catfish page. And, catfish two of the girls who attend the school that he go to. Yeah, so that's why I'm my side there. But
So this movie is about a catfish.
yeah, 100% definitely.
So are there any plot twists in the movie?
Yeah, but I'ma save it. I'm eager for everybody to see it on that set, because the plot twist is the movie. So the twist, it gives up everything, and then from that point, it's a roller coaster all the way to the finish line.
You created a movie about catfish. And have you ever been catfished?
100%. And I was catfished in like 2015. By a girl I know. I won't say her name. But yeah, she got me good. But what I realized in that time was I was able to connect with somebody like truly, and it was an intense feeling. It's just, I allowed the opinions getting away from me really being able to, I guess, connect with a really cool individual. And even after I found out, it was like I still had craved her conversation.
Even after you've got
And it was crazy because the feelings that I developed, they were very real. But then it's just like a huge slap in the face once you.
So you've forgiven your catfish.
100%. She actually was a background extra.
Oh,
She showed up every day.
something. So she got casted.
She didn't get casted. She just showed up. She said she seen the casting call and she showing up every day, and I didn't deny her that it was a cool experience.
That goes to my next question. What stood out to you about the cast of this movie? Like, how did you cast this movie?
Man, it was perfect. It was just perfect. I had everybody. One of our leads, Xavier Alvarado. I had already knew I was gonna work with him because we had worked on a previous movie about 2 years prior to that. I knew he was going to be a part of the movie, and I needed to find somebody who could embody Bryson Wilson. And at the time, I had never heard of a Ronson Hawkins, and somehow his page came up on my feed, and I'm like, man, this is the guy right here. Yeah. And I felt it, and so I ended up writing him, and he responded back immediately, and we jumped on the phone right after that. We probably talked for like an hour. And that's how I knew. Gloria Prince, she's one of the female leads. She's always been a great talent, even with just music and stuff like that. I knew eventually one day I wanted to work with her, and this was the perfect moment for us to collaborate. And then Zamani Deal, she came later on because we had somebody else in place for her, but the person I had prior to her, she didn't accept the role for whatever reason, so it opened up the door for Zamani, and Zamani came in and killed it. I think everybody that was a part of this movie embodied every role we had. I definitely, even the background extras.
So why do you think it's important for you to cast local talent in your films?
None of them are local to Lamarck. Far as the leads or even the supporting cast, I wouldn't necessarily say I think it's important, because I don't want to take away from the talent that could be out, but in other areas. But I do believe that the hometown should have something to do with it. if the opportunity presents itself. So there were a lot of background extras from the area. There were a lot of PAs that came on set and helped with making sure the production ran smoothly. So I definitely believe in opening up opportunities for the locals, but I don't think it's like it's a you have to type thing.
So, how would you say you putting Lamarck on the map? You know, being that you're from there.
This I will say I'm the first person to do something like this because I would be ignorant to the fact of who came before me. I don't know anybody, but this movie gonna be a huge success. Production wise, the quality was great. I believe that the acting comes second to none. I believe once this movie touches the internet or streaming platforms, it's gonna change the world, and it's gonna shine light on our own time, like tremendously, in a different aspect this time, not just sports or rapping and stuff like that. This is a new lane that I'm trying to create for us with the film thing, and I think it's gonna be something major in the future.
So, how would you say like filming here make the film unique?
Because of the history. Um, this movie probably is the last piece of history that's gonna be in the Lamarck High School that they're about to tear down because they built a new one. So this movie is definitely filled with rich history here because of it's not just a name. This is a local place where everybody knows each other. And it's good because every time I go somewhere, I feel safe because I know I'm gonna run into somebody I see, and it's just really good people down here. If we can clean up some of the violence and some of the mess down this way, I truly believe that this could be a place where I can see myself coming back to sell.
How would you say growing up here shaped who you are as a filmmaker?
I don't think the way I grew up had anything to do with going a filmmaker. I had dreams on playing football, and my dreams of playing football were cut short the day I became a father. And so I was doing very well as far as the sports in college. And then when I got the car, I was having my son. That was more important to me to come back and raise him and figure out what I could potentially do next to, chase a dream, something like that. So I think the film thing just came with my awareness of life and wanting to tell stories from that point.
You said that you this film is like opening doors for people to see Lamarck in a different light. How do you want the residents of Lamarck to feel when they see this film?
They should be proud. They should be proud that someone like myself is proud to be where I'm from. And I don't shy away from telling people I'm Lamar. Like when I've done like other interviews, they try to say I'm from Houston and stuff like that. I correct them right away. Nah, I'm from Lamar, Texas. My whole family is from this area, and like I say, it's a great place to be from.
So, what would you say was the hardest scene to film in Masquerade?
The Masquerade Ball. We had to film that 3 times.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so we had to come back 3 different times because even though this is only my second film, I struggled with playing in pre-production as best as I could, and I was able to learn from that mistake because those 3 times we had to spend X amount of dollars. So each time it cost some money. Each time we filmed that Masquerade my investors probably ended up spending a little bit over 10,000 hours each time.
Oh wow! So that's $30,000.
Yeah, just one scene in the movie.
Wow, that's a lot of money.
It was long. The cast were getting tired, and it was just it's so many moving parts where we trying to cover a full room. You gotta flip the room, and you gotta come back and do this, and it was good. We got through it. You gonna love it. I mean, it's like that was probably one of the hardest scenes to film for us. I'm honestly just ready for it to be out and for me to move on to the next project. But I am excited. I am excited to see, and hear of how it helps people see themselves, whatever their testimony is once they actually watch the movie or something like that. But because before, like the premiere we had, like it says, like 600, 700 people there. After the premiere, my phone was like
full of just like love from people. Just man, this movie was great, and I kind of got big headed, and I'm like, nah, let me bring myself back down. So I know this time around, there's gonna be a ton of people see it and reach out to me, and I just want to keep my head level at this time and stay humble and move forward.
This is Leela Sims with KGTX 7 News. Thank you for joining us today.